Hello, my dear class. How are you all? Class, are you solving the worksheets which I have sent you? And I'm explaining you. Look, I'm just trying to help you in finding the answers. In fact, I'm not sharing the answers with you. I'm just asking you to think what can be the correct answer so that this activity, this mental activity, and this discussion will help you to prepare your final exams to get good grades. So let's begin assignment number 6, which is from the topic elements, mixtures, and compounds. We begin with the name of God. The worksheet begins with MCQs, and the very first MCQ is: which diagram represents the arrangement of particles in a gas? So when matter is in gaseous state, the particles are very far away, having the maximum kinetic energy, and the intermolecular distance is also very large. So it must be option A. Second MCQ is: what correctly describes the molecules in a very dilute sugar solution at room temperature? When we see solution term, solution is the homogeneous mixture of two or more than two components. When we see the term dilute, we understand that dilute means very less amount of solute dissolved in solvent. So what is given? Sugar solution is made, and one column is for sugar molecules, the other column is for water molecules. So you see, for option A, sugar molecules are widely separated, moving at random. Yes, and water molecules are close together, moving at random. So we will keep this reserved. Option B, widely separated, moving at random. Water molecules close together, not moving. It can't be possible, because when we understand kinetic particle theory of materials or matter, we get that all particles of liquids and gases are all time moving randomly, haphazardly, and this is called as Brownian motion. So they can't be static or stationary. They must be moving if they are in their liquid phase. So B is omitted. For option C, we see they are widely separated, not moving. Again, it can't be possible. For option D, close together, moving at random. If the solution is a dilute one, how can they come closer? They cannot become closer, because if the solution is concentrated, we can think of this option. So option A seems to be the correct one. The next MCQ is: you are given 3 diagrams, state 1, state 2, state 3, and there is different arrangement of particles, and there must be 3 different physical states. Now question side is: which statement about the physical state of substance X is correct? Okay, first you look at the diagrams and judge that which is what. Is in state 3, the particles are very tightly packed together, so it must be the solid state. And in state 1, the particles are relatively at distance as compared to state 3, so it must be liquid. When the particles are very far away, it must be the gaseous state. Now we see which statement about the physical state of substance X is correct. Now you have to apply the conversion, the interconversion of physical states, solid, liquid, and gas. Particles in state 1 vibrate about fixed position. Is it so? Particles in liquid not only vibrate, they move and they slide here and there. So A is omitted. State 1 changes to a state 2 by diffusion. No, when a liquid is boiled, then it is converted into gaseous state, not by diffusion. C. State 2 changes directly to state 3 by condensation. No, it can't be, because when we study condensation, condensation is the conversion of gas into liquid state. Now, to see the option D, the substance in stage 3 has a fixed volume. Yes, definitely solids have fixed volumes. Number 4, brass, which is an alloy mixture of copper with another element, is used to make the contact pins of electrical plugs because it is harder than copper. In brass, the other element is a dash, that dash with the copper. Look, when we talk about alloy, alloy is the mixture of metals, solid metals, and whenever we make mixtures, the components do not react, they only mix together physically, and the alloy is the mixture of metals, not the non-metals. So option C and option D are omitted. Now you have to see in option B what is wrong. They react. They do not react, but they only mix together. Now, theory section. Sodium is a soft metal with little catalytic activity. Nickel is a hard metal which is often used as a catalyst. Okay, you know what nickel is? Nickel is a transition metal. Now see the part A. Describe two other differences in the physical properties of sodium and nickel. First, we discuss its physical state. Both are metals, but sodium is a white gray metal which is soft enough to be cut down by a knife or by using some hard spatula. But nickel is a very hard metal. The next is, you can also define or you can also state the melting points. Sodium is a soft metal having melting point 97.72 degrees Celsius, but nickel is a hard metal having melting point 1453 degrees Celsius. B. State one industrial use of nickel as a catalyst. The element becomes a catalyst due to its catalytic action. And catalysts are those chemicals which increase the rate of the reaction or which makes the conversion of reactants into products by lowering the activation energy of the reaction. So they speed up a reaction without being consumed. Means the catalysts do not react with the chemicals, with the reacting substances. So nickel is used in hydrogenation of hydrocarbons such as toluene, and like other industries are also converting unsaturated hydrocarbons into saturated ones by adding molecular hydrogen into it. So nickel becomes the favorite catalyst for this conversion. C. Explain why an alloy of nickel and copper is less malleable than copper alone. That means when copper is pure, it is a good conductor and more malleable as compared to its alloy, in which nickel is used or nickel is added with copper. You know what happens? In the alloy, some of the added ions which are larger in size, they make up the metal lattice, but this alloy becomes harder. The mixtures become harder, becoming less malleable and becoming less ductile than the pure metal. That is why copper alone in its pure form is more malleable as compared to its mixture with nickel ions. How are elements classified on the basis of their properties? You know, the elements are classified in the periodic table on the basis of their physical properties. as metals, non-metals, and metalloids. To find the answers of these physical properties, you can go through the textbook reading. The reading will help you in finding or listing the main and salient physical properties. What are molecules? To answer this question, you need to understand the molecules are individual existing units of two or more than two atoms combined together. And the types of molecules can be the composition of molecules. If a molecule consists of only one atom, it is monoatomic. If the molecule consists of two atoms, it is diatomic. For three atoms, it is triatomic. For more than three, it becomes polyatomic, and on the basis of their similarity. If same atoms are bonded together, the molecule is homogeneous. But if different types of atoms are bonded together, we say it is a heterogeneous molecule. What is the ratio of hydrogen and nitrogen in ammonia? You know, ammonia is a very important industrial compound, formula NH3. One atom of nitrogen is bonded to 3 atoms of hydrogen. So the ratio is nitrogen to hydrogen is 1:3. What are the first 20 elements of the periodic table? Just go through the periodic table, learn it, and learn the names of the chemical symbols and their atomic numbers with it also. And what are metals? Write the general properties of metals. You know, metals are those elements which are harder, shiny, lustrous, and they are very good conductors of heat and electricity. And they can be made into wires, they are ductile, they can be beaten into sheets, they are malleable. And coinage metals are those metals which can be made into coins, such as gold, such as silver. I hope this discussion is enough to boost your energy to understand and to prepare this topic, to learn this topic, to cover the full content from your textbook and from your 5-year paper. Just solve it and try to write the short and precise answer, to the point answer, which can get you good marks. Thank you, class. God bless you and take care.